Okay, this is the last of 30 minutes, I hope. It might slide a little bit in terms of how you then go about and get something out, eventually plotted. But we're going to return from this assembly view here. We're going to make sure now we save this because we probably haven't. We're going to save it as, we're going to put it in the right spot, which you meant that's in the right spot at least. So we're going to hit a save here. And we're going to say yes to all. You realize we have one part that's kind of duplicated here. So we'll see what it does when we try to do these holes. So alright, so the last step here, if we think about going in through to this, is in the design mode. You realize there's an assembly view and a modeling view, an assembly view, all kinds of different views. Lots of different stuff here, but of the many things that are interesting, I think, for anyone else is this idea of holes. So I'm going to go ahead and stick, just because of the projection through, we'll see how the hole looks, but I'm going to go ahead and put two holes, two holes, two holes, and two holes in some just loose pattern, and realizing that the parameters are going to be really what makes a big difference when we do these holes. So we're going to go ahead and click the hole thing. We're going to go with basically a linear one. We're going to want to go through is what we're looking for. Termination is through all. Right, so it doesn't really make a difference. I'll go ahead and make this 3/4 inches, and I'm going to go ahead and grab a face here, put that hole there, then grab my reference line. I'm going to put that as no less than 3 inches, so 3 inches there. Right there. I'm going to dimension it from this side, no less than 3 inches. These are pretty standard 3 inch, no less than 3 inch because of shear. And then I'm going to through all. I'm going to hit OK. We'll see how it does on that. Just on the through all, let's see how it does on the through all. And so it did it. And so that's pretty sweet. Looks like it's done. We'll try that again. This time we're going to go 3 more inches. I'll actually do 4 on this one and 4 on the other. So I'm going to go ahead and do the hole. Now basically you could basically do a rectangular pattern. I think I can try the feature there. Let's see if it lets me do it. I don't know that it will. It will. And I'm going to go direction, I guess. Let's see how that direction works. That works for me. Direction up, and we're going to make them 3 inches on center. And I'm going to do the same for direction 2. I'm going to make them, you want the reverse, I guess. Let's see if we can do the reverse. I make them 2 as well. I'm going to make them 3 inches on. See if I can do -3. -3 works. Beautiful. Vectors are wonderful things. Alright, so we've got a set of holes there done by a pattern. So once again, we'll kind of try to do the same over there, but we can actually see if we can mirror these holes, right? So if we can mirror them, we probably need to make a plane to mirror. So this idea of making a work plane originally right there at the centroid, but we don't necessarily need to make a work plane, because here, if we have the origin set up, we can right click and show its visibility. And so if we take these here, we're going to do 2 more holes and then do a mirror of a plane. We'll see some more holes. Again, within AutoCAD, you would have just done the drafting and brought that stuff in. I would still recommend, until you master this, but that you very quickly do get into programs like this and learn how they work. I'm going to add a hole here. Same thing. It's going to be linear. This time it's going to be from this distance. Once again, we'll make that the 3 inches. This time we'll make this the 3 inches. And we will hit apply. We want to go through all. Hit OK. Again, you're doing this within an assembly drawing. I'm going to once more go ahead and just make another hole. This time we'll see whether we can get a different dimension. We're going to get a hole in here. We're going to kind of place it like around there. This time we're going to grab the same distance. We're going to try a distance from there. It won't let me. We'll try a distance from there, and we're just going to guess it's going to need to be shorter, actually. So we're going to guess 5 inches. This is where trig or math, I don't really want to do that. X, going to go, we're going to click on that dimension. We'll try it 3. I think I got a diagonal dimension there, but we'll just live with that for now. 3 inches. And okay, again, distance through all, okay. Now we're just going to try what we said before. We're going to try the mirror. We're going to grab our features, which is this one. Sorry, we're going to grab that feature, if it lets me. Grab that feature, that feature, that feature, and we're going to grab the mirror plane. We probably grab the plane on the edge, and we hit OK, and our holes are done. So in that, now you have completed more or less, right, that assignment. Now, again, I would point out your best thing to do is to draft it into AutoCAD until you've got all this stuff figured out. But to realize a lot of these tools are there, and now they're parametric. This is the theme I'm showing now because of the whole workflow thing within Revit, AutoCAD, SketchUp. So kind of be aware of what your flow is and draw out some sort of chart. I'm going to put basically 4 more holes, 2 holes in each of these, so that we'll have something we can use for the stress analysis. So let's finally do that hole here. We're going to do the hole, see how quickly we can do it. We can do linear. Once again, the default should be through all, but we're going to go ahead and through all, 75. I'm going to go ahead and linear, so I'm just going to grab a point, linear, hit cancel here. I'll try again, hole, linear, through all, face is what I missed there. I'm going to grab a face there, linear, first reference, 3 inches. That 3-inch edge distance is pretty much typical as a minimum on a lot of structural steel that has to do with tear out. I'm going to go ahead and hit apply. I'm going to do the same again, linear, hit done. I'm going to go ahead and grab another hole, much faster ways I'm sure to do this. Through all, grab my reference, sorry, grab a face, once again grab my distance, 3 inches, and we're putting these in here just because it's nice to put those pin joints thoughtfully in those kind of that 3-inch, I'm sorry, in that stress analysis, as opposed to necessarily just doing a fixed end. You know, just putting a pin joint on one side and a friction joint on the other. Hit there, through all, okay. So I'm going to finish the rest of these out. Let's see if we can get these 2 up and mirror it again. So let's see if we can get 2 more holes put in there and mirror the whole bit. So let's see how you can work with an assembly and push back into your parts if you would. So once again, I'm going to go through all. I'm going to grab a face. I'm going to put a hole there. I'm going to give it a reference line. I'll make this, it should be probably less than 3 inches, but 3 inches will be fine. Hit OK here. I'm going to grab a distance there, 3 inches. Right, that puts it there. And I will then apply through all. I'm just going to apply 1 hole up there. All right, so there you have it. Now let's see if we can finally, remember that plane, we kept it around. Remember how we can turn the plane on and off by going over here and right click, changing the visibility. Turn it off, right click, and you have planes for everything, for every part. So I'm going to go ahead and finally do a mirror. I'm going to grab my features, which are going to be that hole, that hole. I'm not even controlling, I'm just clicking and it's remembering. Click, I've got 3 features. I grab the mirror plane. If you remember, very often you've got to grab the edges. I hit OK, and we now have the part done. Alright, so that's it. That's it. The next thing is the stress analysis, and then we'll be done, and the plotting of this. So we'll start with the stress analysis, and I'll show you how you can use some print screens and like to put it into some reasonable documentation if you want to learn how to use AutoCAD or whatever else. Thanks for listening.